£59 million is what Paris Saint-Germain wants for Manuel Ugarte. Meanwhile, there could be an update concerning Jared Branthwaite to Manchester United, as there has been a significant blow in what Everton was hoping was bound to happen. Well, they are back to square one. They need to sell players to stay afloat. Welcome to the United of Sport. My name is Webb. Quick wrap up of Man United news. Well, it's an exciting day because first of all, we got to see the youngster Leny Yoro in training with Manchester United for the first time, and he was smiling from ear to ear, looking sharp as the word, and confident and ready, looking clearly ready to roll, of course, and training with his teammates with a smile on his face. He fit in already, which is exactly what you want to see. That is, of course, Leny Yoro walking to the stadium here, rather to the training ground that is at Carrington for training. So immediately after signing, he was available for training, meaning it's highly likely that he could actually play a part in that preseason game against Rangers. That is tomorrow in Norway. So it's a beautiful update that regarding Man United. Good to have these players in early so that they train with the team and have all the time to acclimatize to the new environment, the weather, and gel into the team. So I feel like it's big. Again, we are beginning to see the fruits of Ineos making early moves. Now, Emmanuel Ugarte is the next move we're hoping to happen, and we know that Ugarte agreed personal terms with Manchester United, and it's now the clubs to talk between them and get to see the deal. But Paris Saint-Germain, like I could have reported earlier, have been holding out for £59 million, which is about 70 million euros. That Man United feels is on the higher side for a player who they signed for £51 million in 2023. Why on earth are they adding an extra eight? Or yet they actually don't want him. They see him as surplus requirements because they're trying to move for Joao Neves. What that looks like is that they're trying to get Man United to finance their move for Joao Neves because they are believed to be set to pay about £70 million base figure for Joao Neves, a player who Man United too was looking at as their first priority, but gave up on because he was perhaps more expensive than what they could afford. Now, if you think United can afford to pay £59 million, wouldn't it be smarter for them to pay that to Benfica and add on maybe later on in installments to get their first priority? I feel like these clubs are, I think, being too naive with the way they're dealing with Man United. And of course, there are reports saying that Everton's, not Everton, that PSG, and of course Everton, which we are going to talk about a bit when it comes to Branthwaite's story. These clubs feel like if Man United could pay £62 million, we would agree to nearly £62 million in total for an 18-year-old kid who has got a year left on his contract. Why wouldn't they pay for a player who has got a long-term contract, who they know is a priority? Because Man United, a number six is a priority. But what Man United are doing now, because I've seen reports coming out as if to threaten PSG to show them we are not so desperate. There are reports that are saying that Man United have informed the PIF that they are willing to keep Bruno, Jadon Sancho. They are going to keep Bruno, Jadon Sancho, and Casemiro. This is a report I saw from somewhere. Of course, the source might not be the most credible. It's not even the most important, but I saw it somewhere. And usually, these Man United stories can come from anywhere. Really, anywhere, anyone can break a good Man United story. That's how big we are as a club. So it's beginning to make rounds that you know that could happen. That Casemiro would say, I feel like this is a way for a bargaining way for Man United to not show these clubs that we are so desperate for whichever players we are linked with, so that they don't overcharge us. It's sad. Whereas Manuel Ugarte is a brilliant footballer, I feel by the way he's a perfect number six to come do the donkey work for Kobe and Bruno for them to play the football. If you know what I mean, because we know what they can do when they've got the ball. Now, if they're concentrating on attacking and opening up, the opponent, without worrying about who is behind them and covering their traps. Trust you me, they are ballers. They will obliterate and destroy anyone. So I have no doubt in Manuel Ugarte, but I do not want, I think the new Man United should not be a club taken for a ride. They should not take Man United for some rich club that has no proper formula to how they spend. I feel like we should be playing the right amounts of money, amounts of money for players. The right amount for Emmanuel Ugarte is not 59 million pounds. It's not 55. It's less than the 51 million pounds that PSG paid for him from Sporting Lisbon in 2023. So for me, I don't think Man United should go for that deal. You'd rather threaten to walk away, but I don't back that. Of course, I have a feeling that eventually the two clubs will get to a compromise and move on the player. And of course, sign him. So I have no doubt that probably before the end of this week, he will be a Manchester United player. Now, another player that United has been strongly linked with is Gerard Branthwaite. Now, you know that Man United's second bid for Gerard Branthwaite of 45 million pounds plus 5 million in add-ons, which is a total of 50, which many of us found really not right for us to take because we found it was a bit on the higher side. But it is still on the table, and United have not really pulled out. Everton are yet to respond officially to this bid. Now, they were hoping because they had ongoing talks about a possible takeover of the Toffees. Now, this is the latest. Fredkin Group ends talks as Toffees now explore alternative options. Now, uh, if for those who don't know, and you might wonder why I'm talking about the Toffees and their takeover, we had our own to deal with for a long time, but this concerns us because my feeling is that the fact that Dan Franklin, that American billionaire, is not going to take over Everton means they might go back in the state of desperation where they need money to stay afloat, to stay afloat virtually. So what that would mean, they only have to sell their players because they're the assets they have to make the money. So, and they've got quite a number of players who are sellable. Already they have sold to Aston Villa 50 million pounds for Amadou Onana. It's not enough. They need more. Now they've got players like Jared Branthwaite. They've got players like Calvert Lewin. They've got quite a few players who they can sell to keep the club afloat. Now they're ending up in a desperate position where if you have a crazy Man United willing to give you 50 million quid for a Jared Branthwaite who cannot even make the bench of a Euros squad when the first choice centre back Harry Maguire is not even on the team. Dunk is going ahead of you. Mark Guehi is ahead of you. If you have a club crazy enough, drunk enough to pay 50 million pounds for such a player, you take it when it's available. I feel like that could be an advantage for those who want Branthwaite to join Man United. I'm not really eager. I'm one of those who feel like, and I could be wrong. I mean, time always vindicates. He could join and turn up to be a better signing than Leny Yoro and even Lisandro Martinez, whoever. But I personally think it would be a blessing in disguise if Man United didn't get Jared Branthwaite for that amount of money. It's not like it's my money, but yeah, as a fan of the club who even watches games, I feel like it's too much for a player, and it takes me back to where we are. I feel like already we've spent a lot on a player who is having a year left on his contract. Of course, we understand why he's a generational talent, and there was a threat from Real Madrid. So we got him. It's not because we wanted; it was because we said, okay, we're either paying now and we get him. That's the only advantage we have. If we say we wait, this boy is going to go to Real Madrid, and you can imagine losing a player like Kobe when you had the opportunity to sign him just because he had a year left on his contract. That's not business. So it was an investment. Sometimes you've got to make that tough decision, which they did on Leny Yoro, and we hope it will be worth it. But for Branthwaite, it's not the same case. Branthwaite is also a bit young, but he's not a 50 million pounds player, and he's playing for a club that's desperate for money. 50 million is already too much. If they don't get it, we bounce. We're not desperate for him. We would rather stay with Harry Maguire, who is working on his fitness, Lisandro Martinez, Jared Branthwaite. We start the season with those, and then we see what happens. At the very worst, if we have even Johnny Evans there. He extended his stay by a further 1 year. I don't, Everton, trust you me. And it's not like there is a bidding war for Jared Branthwaite. It's not like there are so many clubs looking at him, unless there are those we don't know of. The player wants United. He agreed to personal terms, but I think Everton, I mean, if in this state they don't accept the cash that United is offering them, I think for me, 45 million pounds plus 5 in add ons, it's too much for Jared Branthwaite. For me, it's a take it or leave it. So let's see what Man United will do. But that said, I feel like I think we would see the fruits of early signings when if or when or if Leny Yoro plays the game against Rangers tomorrow, it will be quite refreshing to see him play early, a new player play early in the summer. It's been a whole long time without us experiencing that. So that's a bit of the wrap up with Man United today. But still expect Ugarte to go on. I still expect the deal to happen, and of course the elite as well. United is going back and forth with Bayern over a fee for Mathis Delete. So these clubs won't take Ineos for a ride. It's a new dawn, they forget. It's not these Richard Arnolds and John Matters who they are dealing with. These are new guys, sheriffs in town, who are, by the way, the CEO Omar Berada, Jason Wilcox, and Dan Ashworth were integral in Man United's selling of Leny Yoro. Later on, we'll get to understand what exactly happened behind the scenes. Trust you me, it's never easy to steal from Real Madrid. It's never easy. Subscribe. My name is Webb. Peace, love, and harmony. Like the video, please. If you've liked what I said, like it. It doesn't hurt. Just a click. Tick. You've liked it. That's all I ask. Bye bye.